4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey guys, Ranjan here, bringing on another StarCraft commentary. It's going to be the winner's match in the Avalon MSL Group A of the round of 32. Going to get positions out of the way on Outsider before I say anything else. Effort as the green zerg at the 9 o'clock position. The opposite side, we're going to have Luxury as the red zerg at the 5 o'clock position. Of course, this is just as I said a freaking second ago. Outsider 5, 9, and 11 o'clock positions. Luxury versus Effort in the winner's match. Yes. Played great games overall. Luxury really caught me by surprise beating Hwasen the way he did. I honestly thought he was going to lose the game the way it was going, but really just took me off guard and played a great game. Effort, catching that, really just played solidly against Haya. Didn't show anything really too surprising, but just played solid, great StarCraft and managed to completely overpower his opponent. Just teched up, naturally played a good standard game with a few surprises here and there. And just awesome stuff all around. If you haven't watched those yet, what are you doing here? But now we have a great ZVZ ahead of us. I've never actually seen these two guys play against each other. I don't think they ever have, really. Gonna see here. Effort is actually gonna go for a 9 pull, I think. He saved up his larva, didn't build any overlords. Yeah, it is gonna go for a 9 pull now. Probably gonna add in an overlord just now. On the opposite side, I think an overlord definitely was built by Luxury. Yes, so he's probably gonna go. Probably not overpull, or else he would have had a spawning pool morphing and ready. Overlords both going in the correct direction. He's going to high-five each other there in the air. Going to run in our Effort, going to go for Extractor. So you might be thinking of a Speedling build, though I think this is more likely one base, quick lair. Opposite side, 12 pool coming down for Luxury. So he has more of a counter build, really. Lucky in that regard. In usual aspects, 12 pool usually counters 9 pool if the timing is correct. So, you know, by the time Effort's going to have his Zerglings, there's a little bit of distance travel, not too much, but overall you got to kind of, the way Outsider works, he's not going to have a full road from 9 o'clock. It's a clear road from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. He has to run up a little bit, then to the side, then down. Not as clear road all the way down, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. Going to spawn 6 Zerglings right off the bat. Going to see what he tries to go for Speedlings, or actually going to go for Quick Lair. And the upset also an Extractor up for Luxury, so he's probably going to go for just more standard play off one base. Going to see what actually tries to put down his expansion or not. Lair on the opposite side, there's going to be 6 Zerglings. He's going to get a spot by Luxury. He's going to have to spawn his own 6 Zerglings very soon. I think he might actually have those in time just inside. He's actually going to put down a natural expansion hatchery there, so his Zerglings have to be on time. Yes, his 6 Zerglings are indeed going to be coming in. Now, it was going to be important for him to prevent the serious harassment of that expansion hatchery, and also going to be very, very important for him to prevent Luxury from coming up the ramp. If those Zerglings come up the ramp, he's going to find himself in a lot of danger. We have to be very careful. Zerglings are now out here. Effort is going to start harassing him. Luxury does get his Zerglings down on the ramp. We're going to see how long he holds it. Actually moves out with his own Zerglings. Effort just trying to stay outside. He's going to start to do much harassment. Now actually moving a little bit backwards with his Zerglings. Apparently not going to push this because it's going to force the Luxury to build those initial 6 Zerglings, if nothing else. His lair is going to be up quite a bit sooner, so he's going to have his Mutalisk up sooner than the Luxury. It's all going to come down to some Mutalisk micro. We're going to see which force really manages to combine his ground forces with his aerial forces better. Not a lot of larvae actually being saved up at this point, of course, because you're not going to have your Spire up for a while still, even though the lair is going to be up a little bit sooner. At this point, Effort just actually sitting outside of his own base, just really feeling safe. Now putting up his Spire in such a position to make the drones mine gas just a little bit faster. Just a little bit faster, most likely. And the lair still not quite on the way, so the Spire is going to be a little bit later from Luxury. Also has a slightly damaged hatchery. Not that damaged that it's really that dangerous. Lair just now, I believe, coming up. Zerglings for Effort now, also now moving around a little bit. Going to get spotted by Overlords, apparently canceling whatever it is that he was thought of doing. I'm going to see Luxury. Did he get speed? No, I actually don't think he did. Just standing outside his own natural expansion. He's going to have a production advantage, though, to Effort's timing advantage. Effort's going to have his Mutalisk out sooner, but as soon as the game keeps going on, if the game goes the distance, as Zergling games goes the distance, it's like 5 minutes longer than usual, then Luxury is going to have a serious army advantage at that point, sending out another drone most likely to help mine. Maybe even to put down a building. Most likely, maybe even to put down the Spire, actually. Still don't... Yeah, here we go. Now, Evolution Chamber actually coming up. So, yes, he's actually going to go for Evolution Chamber, still not having his Spire up. Actually going to start off by playing defensively. Sees that, okay, I'm not going to have Mutalisk out nearly in time to help myself defend. The Spire now up for Effort, and no Spire even on the way for Luxury at this point. Going to actually put down creep colonies. There is an Overlord there for effort, though. Is going to be able to spot them. It's like, I think it's at a distance to spot that. Yeah, Spore Colony is going to be coming up at both the natural and the main. So it's going to all come down to macro. Actually, 2 Creep Colonies are going to be down on the main with Spore Colonies ready. So it's all going to come down to macro management. Effort's probably going to use this opportunity to take his own natural expansion. Really should try to get more production going. He's now just going to be producing some Mutos now. Is going to take down his natural expansion. So at this point, Luxury just going to play defensively until he can get up his Spire. Has, wow, 3 creep, just a lot of creep colonies everywhere being put down. Has a lot of Zerglings to help defend against any possible Zergling attacks as well. Has 2 creep, 2 sorry about that there. Say that, colony, Wallany, Balani, I'm Barmy. So 2 Spore Colonies at the main, 3 I believe at the natural expansion. Maybe he actually put down a Sunken there to help defend against those Zerglings that are now running down by Effort. So Effort actually might, yes, there is actually 1 Sunken Colony. So we're going to see where Effort try to go for a dual prong attack. He has those few Mutos flying in there. I think there's only 4 of them really going to get hit by Spore Colony. Has to be very careful to defend those. Luxury at this point now just going to build his Spire, just going to wait out, sit inside of his base. And really if this keeps going the way it is, Effort is going to find himself at a disadvantage, find himself not being able to do any sort of damage to Luxury really. We're going to see he probably does not even, he doesn't rage anything really. Spore Colony can hit him at a distance, even you're not going to be able to take out that Extractor, not going to be able to take out that Evolution Chamber, not really going to be able to do anything. Going to take out 1 random drone running out, and actually no, he's not going to do that. Not doing enough damage, adding in even more Mutalisks. Still has the Zerglings running around the field, blocking his own ramp, being very careful, very self-conscious of the fact that he could get his own base harassed. Actually is going to go for a pretty decent harassment there, taking out some drones and actually preventing some mining there, flying on the moves. Now going to go at the main, keeping even more drones, really being very careful. There's a Spore Colony in position there though, several Spore Colonies at all range, actually going to be able to do a lot of damage. On the opposite side, Luxury actually ran his Zerglings up. I'm not sure if they had speed or not, don't think they did, but there are Zerglings of efforts, they're ready to hit back and defend, but now his hatchery, his new natural expansion is going to be a little bit weak. There's 1 Mutos there, but actually these Zerglings are going to be able to absolutely surround this natural expansion. I'm not going to sure if Effort not going to be able to save this. No, Luxury going to have outnumber him completely with those Zerglings. 1 Mutos still attacking, some Zerglings still on the ground, even more Mutos flying in, and he saves the hatchery. Effort barely saves the hatchery. No way he can run out with those Mutalisks now. There are Zerglings running out on the field for Luxury. He was so close. So close. I think if he decided at one point when Effort tried to go for a defensive, he had decided perhaps not to counter those defensive units. Just say, screw it, I'm going to just try to get this hatchery. I don't care if I get all these forces killed. He might have taken it down, but at the same time, it was a calculated risk. Scourge are flying in the air. Mule is doing pretty good micro, but also Zerglings on the ground. And overall, Effort trying to set in a trap, trying to lure some Mutalisk away with those Scourge so he can get those Zerglings. It has those 4 Zerglings, and really those 4 Zerglings are enough. Zerglings going to try to go for it, not going to be enough. No, not going to be able to do it. Not going to cut it. Hatchery still has, I think, 100 health, and that's just not enough. We'll actually try to go for just trying to set up some traps against Effort, but not going to be able to manage to do that. At this point, I think Luxury is going to start. He's not really producing any sort of Mutalisk at all. Just producing Scourge at this point. Has some Zerglings down in the field, perhaps. Still has some Scourge. Just flying around. Going to take out an Overlord there. Bye-bye. Just has them around, scanning out. See if Effort decided to put down some extra bases. But at this point, Effort still not producing Mutalisks. And at the opposite side, Luxury now has his own Mutalisk finally flying around. Sunken Colony to be put on the natural expansion because really, you gotta understand the paranoia of Effort at this point. If you lose the natural expansion, he's pretty much lost the game, or not really just lost the game, but really he'll have a massive disadvantage in this game. Honestly, you know, against another player, Effort possibly would be able to pull back, but against a player of Luxury's caliber, you can't make mistakes like that, like use your natural expansion. Still flying around with those Mutalisks, some of them not really being grouped up, just flying around randomly. Just now grouping them up. We're going to see what he's going to go for another harassment. Has a rather large group of Mutalisks. Maybe he's going to try to find an opening, try to do some sort of damage. But on the Mutalisks out in the field as well for Luxury. Not as many. But he's not really... Effort's not going to be able to force a Mutalisk fight because Luxury knows exactly that he can stay with that within his Spore Colony line. There are a lot of Spore Colonies for him. He's going to be able to stay within that. Make sure there's Mutalisks stay inside of that there. Effort gets hit by some Spore Colonies, really. Going to be a little bit weak. Also now more Zerglings coming in on the ground for Effort. So he's going to see whether he actually tries to go for a dual attack because there's nothing really but 1 Sunken Colony alongside Mutalisks for defending the natural expansion of luxury. So he tries to go for dual pronged attack. He might actually be decently successful. We can see what it actually goes for. He has a lot of zerglings moving down just outside of the natural expansion of luxuries, and he's actually going to go for a run by, and this is actually very smart. He is going to go for a run by, gets inside the natural expansion, and just sticks around there. Mutalisks, they're flying out for luxury. Really has to keep him away. He has some zerglings inside of the main. Mutalisks going to start attacking the extractor, and that zerglings are going to come up in close as well. Some scourge and Mutalisks flying in for luxury. After doing a pretty good job with micro against those, really just has to be very close to taking out that extractor. Taking out one gas, really going to delay some more tech from a lot. One more shot, extract. No.